Poor Ver, back here again with a new video. Y'all gotta realize, we're living in fucking crazy times right now. Food stamps about to be donezo after Halloween. People are trying to cut back on spending. I don't see it happening, but they're trying their best to. And with all that being said, some of y'all still choose to chase ass. Let me ask y'all a question, right? After all the ass you chase, you don't get tired chasing ass? After all the times that you know you should be stacking assets, understand more about income, understand more about finances, you don't think you should just learn more about it? But instead you're going to choose to allow yourself to remain lost, remain in bondage, because you believe that your job is safe. I think it's even more and more weird when you guys hear people getting fired from their job and y'all still spend like drunken sailors. A lot of times, right, I realize that, you are your own worst enemy. If you see what's going on and you're going to choose to pretend like it's not happening, it's a personal choice. If you're going to allow yourself to remain lost in this world, even though you know you can be found by finding yourself, it's a personal choice. If you're going to allow somebody you don't know to fuck up your whole entire situation, whatever you have going on, meaning like money-wise, investment-wise, it's a personal choice. I feel as though people have to stop putting the blame on everybody else. When you look in the mirror and you see the problem being whatever you have been doing over the course of the last few years, over the course of your whole entire life, and to not make that initial change is crazy to me. It's crazy to me because like it could all be simple, create a product, sell the product, find people out there that you want to buy the product and sell it to them, or have a service, create the service, find somebody out there, sell it to them. All these things, like, it sounds so simple, and like I feel like it is simple. It's just that people kind of don't want to put the hard work in. But you rather go to a job, get taxed into oblivion, then try to figure out why you don't have any bread. Then try to figure out why you're struggling to pay the bills. Then try to figure out how did this come to be. And I tell you guys, it's truly hilarious to me because while everybody, like I always bring up before too, everybody's getting all these free checks, right? You didn't have no rent to pay. Why the fuck you didn't invest a check? Why you didn't, even if you're not investing in crypto, why aren't you invested in like, I don't know, a freaking an ETF or a stock, whatever, like whatever your fancy is, whatever you choose to buy. Why don't you buy gold and silver? Why don't you buy something that would be like an asset instead of just invest in a whole bunch of liabilities? Like, I feel like a lot of people really just took trips. A lot of y'all just took trips to make memories, to come back home, to go back to work. How does this make sense? Bro, I don't understand. I don't. The consumer is something that I feel is possessed by a demon. And it has to be because, like, somebody could have $2 left. Instead of saving $2, right? They would go, somehow they'll spend $2. I don't know where they'll spend it. They go to the dollar store. They'll buy 2 things and, like, just spend $2 as fast as they came in. Life will not teach you something more than once unless you allow it. Think about that, right? For instance, when I was younger, I busted my ass on my bike before graduation, right? It was a wild time. I was highly upset. Like, my whole chin got scraped up and my teeth got scraped up literally the day before graduation of, I think, 5th grade. And, I busted my ass. Alright, so this whole story. I'm riding my bike. I think I just hit a curb. No, I hit a curb. Like how sometimes, like, on the ground, they might have like a thing poking up. They might have like a what's it called again? Like piece of the tiles poking up, so it's not even. So my dumb ass didn't look where I was going, or I did see it and I tried to go over it. But anyway, I busted my ass, right? So instead of when I fell, instead of putting my hands down, my dumb ass fell like this. One more time. So I just fell, bust my ass, like I fell over the bike. Not like this. Your boy said, and all here was fucking open. The white meat was all open right here. My teeth was chipped, like all here was like a chip. So I get a file down and everything. But the wildest part of that story is my mom was like, why didn't you put your hands down? I was like, I don't know. And I'm over here fucking crying. I just bust my shit wide open. Hey, yo, pause. But like, I just really busted my ass. And then her first thing is, why don't you put your hands down? So, I mean, since that day, I haven't fell head first and busted my ass. But, like, that's like a mistake I learned when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Like, you won't make the same mistake twice unless that you can. The same mistake twice is a choice. You know what I'm saying? And like, it goes for anything. You know, it goes for like red flags that you see going on in your relationship. It goes for red flags you see of people that you know. It just goes for everything. You know, to allow something to mess you up twice, it's a personal choice. And I feel like it's more and more wild because like, all I have to do is put my hands down. But like, I don't know. I don't want to mess up like my wrist and stuff. I don't know. Like, that's kind of what through my head at the beginning. I'm gonna just fall down. It's not gonna be that bad. But I really busted my ass. But that was like, you know, the personal choice I had there was either put my hands out or to bust my ass on my face. And that's what I did. But like I said, if it happens again, I'm riding a bike or whatever and I bust my ass and I choose to fall head first again, it's a personal choice. Because I know repercussions. Like, I'm gonna skin open, my face is gonna have cuts or whatever on it. The whole healing process, gotta get antibiotics, gotta put Neosporin on it, you know, gotta put Band-Aids on it, all the different stuff like that. But that's what it is. And I just feel as though people like bust their ass and they just kind of stay there and look around and they be like, did anybody see that? I just busted my ass. And it's kind of like, yeah, bro, we all say you bust your ass, so now what? And he's like, watch this, I'm gonna bust my ass again. And like, the first time, you know, you get compassion. The second time, you're just a fucking dumbass. So that's the same people who just spend money sporadically and choose to not invest in any type of asset, you know. And you know, I would never say it gets harder and harder. It gets easier and easier because like, once you understand that what you're doing in your life is for the greater good of the future you do it without question. You know, like, you don't walk around with you slumped over and sad because, you know, whatever you're going through right now is something that you're gonna make an eternal thing. You know, the problem lies in when you allow yourself to become dictated by your emotions, dictated by what everybody else on the outside believes. Like, I could really care less, bro. I go to Goodwill and get a pair of shorts for $5, like, or less than that. I don't care. Like, I feel as though there's people that care about fashion to the extent where like, they'll go broke to get a pair of jeans, they'll go broke to get a pair of shoes, they'll go broke to get a t-shirt, they'll go broke to get a haircut. And I have never been in that type of form. I feel like you gotta be real fucking dumb in this day and age to spend crazy, and then when times is tough, you have nothing to look back on. I love y'all. With your whatever gold you cast will last. Don't forget, tokenized real estate, Bitcoin mining, flip your job with crypto, and Money Power Freedom ebooks are all available in the store. This will help set you free. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a CPA. I'm just here to let you guys know what the team and I are doing to make sure we get ahead in life and make sure that within this monumental shift that we're going through, that we're on the right side of history. I love y'all.